Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm Jarret Johnson, and finally, the offseason is over. It's game week as Texas Tech prepares for the season opener. Saturday night, 7 o'clock at the Jones against Murray State. The Joey McGuire era finally gets kicked off. Seems like Coach McGuire has been here forever. He's been here since November, of course, but he's made quite the impression. But this is about fall camp ending, coming to a close. Like I said, it's game week. It was a great fall camp. I want to kind of wrap that before we progress and get to all the season previews. I'm going to break down the offense and the defense, special teams, preview the season, all that in coming videos this week. But I want to go ahead and give fall camp its due because it was a very successful fall camp. First off, because there weren't a lot of major injuries. As a matter of fact, I can't think of a major injury that occurred in fall camp that's going to have that we know of, that's going to have long-term effects on the season. Now, Taj Brooks got banged up, I think in the first scrimmage or right thereafter, his knee, and he missed a lot of fall camp, but he's back. Coach McGuire said on multiple occasions would be returning this week in preparation for the season opener against Murray State, and everybody knows what they have in Taj, and he knows the system and all that, so that's great news. There were some minor injuries that I think probably affected the depth chart, but overall, so far, and I know some of y'all are superstitious like I am, I'm gonna knock on wood, y'all don't want me to jinx it, but so far not a lot of major injuries, and that's always a big story of fall camp, because you're seeing around the country in the Big 12, there have already been some major injuries before the season's even kicked off, so that's good news. Now, there were some other things that really stood out to me. First off, right off the bat, even before they actually got into full pads, it was aware to not just me, but several other media members, including Double T Farmer, Stephen Chapman, our great photographer at Inside the Red Raiders, just how physical and intense this fall camp was. The tone was set by the coaches, but I have to give credit to the players who accepted that challenge from the coaching staff. So it was very physical fall camp, very intense. And the fact that you combine what I said in the beginning, that there weren't a lot of injuries, but there was that physicality and intensity, those are good things. That's a really good combination. So a lot of the players looked much bigger. I already dropped on Sunday 5 guys that are I'm expecting to have breakout seasons that went from relative obscurity to I think are going to be household names in Raiderland. Most of our Raider fans are going to know these guys. So the Phillip Bleedies, Duran Bradley, receiver Duran Bradley, Kobe Minor, cornerback, I think is going to have a good season. Jacoby Jackson, a young offensive lineman coming up at guard. And Kosai Eldridge, which is one of my biggest surprises of all fall camp. Really going out and claiming that starting will linebacker spot at inside linebacker. So he's going to be one I'm watching. But it wasn't just them. So even some of the veterans like Miles Price, Tyler Shuck, that was big news in camp. As expected, was named the starting quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. I asked him after he was announced as a starter, like, all right, you obviously have all the tools, you have the weapons, you say you like the scheme from offensive coordinator Zach Kidley. What's it going to take for you to take another step, improve, and then ultimately win a lot of games? And he said, and this was interesting to me, and I agree with him. This has been my suspicion of Tyler Shuck all along, is that first off, what he said was basically he's always revving the engine or going 100%, trying to make every play, basically trying to force things. He said he's better when he's at 90% in terms of not trying to force that last 10% where maybe he can make a play, but there's also a lot of room for error, and which error means turnovers. So if he can play within himself, just run the offense, use those tools I'm talking about, utilize those weapons, then yeah, he's going to put up a lot of points, and Tech will probably win a lot of football games this year. So that's going to be a major key to the season. We'll see if he's able to do that. Some other position battles that were won that were huge. Monroe Mills at right tackle is big. I want to get his exact, I have the roster here. I want to make sure I have his exact size here. 6'6", 315. He transferred in from Oklahoma State. That was a surprise to me. I thought he was maybe a year away, but I think the coaches were expecting a lot, or they wouldn't have brought him in, but he was better than they were expecting in this fall camp. He was also here in the spring, and I think that helped him a lot. Dennis Wilburn winning the starting center position was also a little bit of a surprise for me. Him coming from Hutchinson Community College, which is, that place is a factory. They've produced so many Division I players from that junior college. But he is, and to get his size right, 6'3", 320 pounds. So he beat out Cade Briggs, who transferred in from New Mexico, who I thought was going to win the starting gig. But that competition is ongoing, so that's interesting. Landon Peterson out of Odessa Permian, who's been developing in the program. He is 6'6", 300. Looks like he's going to be the starting right guard, so that's interesting. And of course, you have Caleb Rogers at left tackle returning to start. Western Wright at left guard returning as a multi-year starter. But those other guys filling out the roster is huge. The fact that Cole Spencer so far hasn't even been able to suit up or practice is newsworthy as well. Coach McGuire said they knew that his rehab from a knee injury from the previous season could possibly cost him a couple of games this year. And he even recently said that he might actually redshirt for this season and come back next year if the injury still lingers, if the rehab hadn't worked. But Cole Spencer was the All-Conference USA offensive lineman for Zach Kitley and offensive line coach Stephen Hamby at Western Kentucky last year. So he was expected to be a plug-and-play guy. So if he's not able to go, that's big news. But, there's problems like that and guys are out, there's opportunity. And one young man who's stepped up is Jacoby Jackson, a redshirt freshman. He's 6'6", 335 pounds. And Coach McGuire said recently he's going to be a swing guard. He's going to play. Even if he doesn't start right off the bat, he's going to play, both left and right guard, get some seasoning, play some. And the man's a force to be reckoned with, a young big man. He is. He's impressed me in practice, and he may be a year ahead of schedule in terms of just being a redshirt freshman and ready to go. But he has the look, and he's the type of player, in my opinion, that once he does get the starting nod, he may not ever give that spot up. Like I said, I wrote about him possibly being a breakout player this year. So, the offensive line, I focused so much on it this offseason. To see it come together is exciting, and it always does. Offensive line is so important, but this year where there's so many questions, I think it's going to play such a big role. Sir Roderick Thompson and Taj Brooks both look great at running back. Cameron Valdez had a great camp. At receiver, you got Duran Bradley, Loic Fawanji, Miles Price. Brady Boyd is going to play both outside and inside. He transferred in from Minnesota. I really like him. So I really like the offense if the offensive line can come together. Defensively, I've mentioned those safeties. Dadrian Taylor Demerson, Reggie Pearson, Marquise Waters all playing at the same time. I really like them. Veteran defensive line coming back. You got Tyree Wilson coming off the edge. They feel confident in four corners. I wish they had one or two more, but that they really feel confident in. But, I think overall this is a really sound team, special teams. I don't think anything's been decided between Gino Garcia and Trey Wolf in terms of the place kicker, at least as far as I know. But McGuire said that's a competition where you can see a guy, if he misses a couple of kicks in a game, they go with the other guy. So they both have big legs. Trey Wolf will return as the kickoff specialist. We'll see about place kicker. And you have Austin McNamara, one of the best punters, in the Big 12, if not the country. And some return guys, I think, have a chance to finally make Texas Tech return game, a weapon again, like it used to be back in the day in the early aughts or mid to late aughts, as late as that. So, because it's been a while. That would really help if they got a boost from the return game, both kickoff and especially punt return game. But we'll have to see about that. Like I said, I'm going to break all these positions down, or at least every side of the ball, every phase of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams in the coming days leading up to kickoff. But man, we're really getting there. We're just days away from kickoff finally, and this is my favorite time of the year. I love to do this. Getting to go to practice, talk with the players and the coaches, really get the inside feel and the scoop, and see, how the sausage is made, for lack of a better phrase. is why I do this. I love it. So it's go time. I'm really excited. I'm fired up. The Rockin' Pregame Radio Show on Rock 101 FM here in Lubbock has debuted. We did our preview special Friday, and we'll be out at Red Ritter Outfitter on Saturday between 4 and 6 before kickoff. So come by and see us, if you get the chance. But I'm just really excited for the season. Fall camp was a success. And, man, we're going to have tons of content throughout the week for on Inside the Red Ritter, so hang with us. But for now, thank you for watching, and until next time.